So first of all, we really would like to thank you, Professor Yunus, who welcomed us here. I mean, with the chairman of the Foundation GrameenCreditAgricol, Rafael there, the new MD, Mrs. Veronique Peugeot. And we're going to celebrate the 15th anniversary of the foundation in 2023. And it was set up at that time with GrameenCreditAgricol and the Grameen. And so we wanted to understand better why, I mean, you decided to join us and join the GrameenCreditAgricol to setting up this foundation. What was the main, the main purpose for you and the main vision you had for the foundation at that time?
Well, thank you for visiting us. That's important, and congratulations for taking this new responsibility. The foundation has been very important for us. We have been working together for a long time. Now, 15 year celebration. So let's celebrate it in a big way. That's what we've been looking forward to. And now that you've mentioned how it all began, I should be frank, I didn't know that there's a bank called GrameenCreditAgricol. So when Jean-Luc Brown and also Jacques Roger, both of them came, they introduced themselves, and I had no idea what this is all about and why they came. And when they explained that this is a bank, big bank in France, and I was wondering why they should come to us. What may be the reason? I thought it's bank, so they want to see it's a big opportunity for a bank to do the banking business. I was kind of not sure what this conversation should be, but I welcomed them. They said we want to work together. Then I kind of started sitting straight. Said, well, why do they want to work with us? What do we have that they said they're the biggest bank in Europe? And I was trying to think what can be the reason. Maybe they want a banking opportunity in Bangladesh. So I tried to explain that we're not that kind of bank, because I'm assuming that they're that kind of bank. Yeah, I was talking to him about what we can do, what we do, explaining. But they tried to say, no, we understand what you do, we have good information on you, and we want to see any way that we can collaborate and work. I said it can be in terms of providing financing, but we have enough financing, we're not looking for any finance. So I don't know what else we can do. We can work together someplace, that could be one. But you think about it. Let's figure it out. What can be done? It's up to you. But in the meantime, have a look what we do, so that there's no there's clearness, clear understanding of each other's position. So on that day, that discussion didn't proceed very far. They left. Next day, they came back again. It serves the right. So they chose to how to collaborate, to doing something together in some other place. That would be. I said, well, that's also possible, but again, this will be kind of a project for you, for the bank. Projects really do not do a very good job, because if that is created and it disappears. If you can do it in some institutional way, that could be a better format. So that discussion led to the question of creating a foundation. That's a big foundation. So that discussion went that way, and I felt very happy that the foundation can now specifically work on the kind of thing that we do as a microcredit. So that was the discussion, and we signed some understanding and they left. And that was the beginning of all that. And we became very good friends ever since. And I'm invited to come and talk to them, to the other people. The GrameenCreditAgricol, I did and explained everything. In the meantime, they created the foundation, and Jean-Luc in it as the head of the foundation and so on. So that was the beginning of that. It's a long history. A 15-year history.
Yes, no. Still young, but
still 15 years most critical years.
Yes, in the beginning.
You give the shape to the ideas, it's concrete. Rest is a continuation.
Well, Professor, as a second question, we are also at the beginning of everything. And I wonder what do you think about the main changes we are facing at the foundation, and what do you think?
Basically, whatever the challenge is faced by microfinance in general, the same thing foundation will be facing. Number one, foundation will be facing it has undertaken the responsibility of doing in so many countries. That's the difficulty. Each country has its rules, regulations, and so on, their own kind of environment of work, etc. And you have to work with NGOs. Each country has different kind of NGOs and so on. And then you don't have staff to sit there and mobilize and do things, and you don't have a real office in them. You are visitors most of the time. So that's a problem, that how to handle this kind of thing. The way I understand it, they will know better because they have been doing it. Other thing is, microfinance started with a good intention, but gradually it started moving the wrong direction. Money making microcredit. So it's very difficult to understand which is the right microcredit, which is the wrong microcredit. And someone figured it out the right microcredit, and they are really doing a good job. You give money, they go into the wrong direction. And it's very difficult to mobilize and so on. So that must be a problem, I'm theoretically speaking, and not from concrete results of what happened, how to do that. And getting them to return the money and continue the relationship is not easy task. Because again, you don't have the on-site people and things like that. So there's a series of these problems. And some of them becoming banks, continuing in the wrong way. And there you are trying to do things in the right way, that becomes a concern.
And what do you think about climate changes and inflation and so many crises we're facing? Do you think
that's a common thing. That's a common thing for everybody, that climate change and inflation and so on. That has to be faced by anybody. And now today, on top of all this, has come the Ukrainian war, which pushed everybody. It's a war which touches the life of every single human being on this planet. So it's not a tiny little war going on someplace. And it is done in a very negative way. It impacted countries, people, businesses, and so on. So that must have impacted on all this. And the climate change is an issue, how you handle it in a microfinance way, what are the policies that you take, how you implement it. You can take policies on papers. How do you implement this when you don't have workforce to monitor everything on the ground, with everybody watching and everybody is following this rules and so on. So this makes it more complicated.
So, Professor, we know you are always turned to the future. So, what do you wish for the GrameenCreditAgricol Foundation for the 15 years to come?
Again, congratulations for the 15th anniversary. That's a very critical point that we are. Yeah, it's a very important point at this juncture. What is it that Credit Agricole Foundation can do? This is important because you can look back what happened in 15 years. Now you can reflect what should happen in 15 years. If I was talking about the next 15 years, given our experiences, I would redesign the whole thing. I would not do it financing NGOs and things like that. I would do it in a different way that we have been doing. Pick one, at the 0 point even. Create something, like GrameenAmerica, for example. Start with a small beginning and replicate, make it big, continue, collaborate with that. So it's your own organization, so you're funded, but created a local organization on its own entity as an entity, so that it's independent of you, but you are on the board and so on, and guide you to make it happen. So, like we created GrameenAmerica, it's a good example. Now we are doing it in Australia, which is again following the model, building, and let it grow nationwide, whatever it is. And in Yemen, for example. So that could be a better way, rather than touch NGOs and organizations which you don't really have control over, you can't guide their everything just because you gave some money. So you create your own thing, so let it continue with those kind of things and so on. So this would be one that future to think whether that's a better option for the foundation to finance it. Then the finance becomes a big issue because you have to continuously finance them. So you have to look for partners because like GrameenAmerica today has given over $3 billion worth of lend loans there, cumulatively. And it keeps growing. It took 14 years to get to 3 billion. Now probably it will take 4 years to get there, another 3 billion. So 14 to 3. So that's how it becomes big and big. But you on the ground, you do a lot more. Very concrete, you have policies, you have things, you have future, and you have other financing organizations to support you have the creation of it. You're responsible for creation, but it has its own life. So this is one. The other one, you have visited the new entrepreneur program. This could be another option. Nomin program, this would be another option. Create entrepreneurs, individual entrepreneurs. This is a slight difference between the microcredit and the credit and the equity program that we are promoting. And there are lots of people, young people, who are frustrated, unemployed. You transform unemployed young people into entrepreneurs. So entrepreneurs and so on. So that's a credit, and now you have an equity program. So mixed up, you can do both at the same time in different ways and so on. But it should be an institution by itself. That's what my point is: create institutions, not just support the institution already existing. That could be a departure that you can think of.
And a long way to go.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Just do it. This is the way.
Perhaps a few words on the 3-0.
Yeah, of course. This is, and the background of it is 30. This is you have to build a new civilization. That's what we should have in mind, because this civilization is over. It doesn't have any future. No matter what we do, whatever we do, it's up for sinking. The boat is sinking. So before we get sunk in that boat, we have to build a new boat, new civilization. So before we get destroyed by the old civilization, we have to move quickly into a new civilization. A new civilization which will be characterized by 3 zeros: zero carbon emission, zero wealth concentration, and zero unemployment. And how to make the young people believe in it, in creating this new civilization. So I keep telling the young people that you are the last generation on this planet, because your fate is sealed. We are in a suicidal path, and it will happen. But you have a chance. If you make up your mind right now, you can be the first generation of the new civilization. So this is what you have to work for. In new civilization, we should be working for all these 3 zeros that we're talking about, because you have the capacity to do it. You are most powerful generation on this planet, because you have the technology. No other generation has ever seen this technology. They could not even conceive of this technology, but you are born with the technology. God knows how far it will go. Now that you have the power, use it to build a new civilization. That's the challenge that we have to do, everybody, all of us, because otherwise we have a very dark future ahead of us.
So we have to win the first generation.
We have to be the first generation.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.